This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Get ready to be engaged. Get ready to be informed. Get ready to be enraged by the man City Beat magazine called a talk radio rebel. And your host, now back to the show.
Now, pirates, guard on your antenna. Cause yes. Come good and show them what you can do.
Good morning, shoppers. Welcome back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio. If at any point during the next 2 hours you might feel compelled to share your thoughts, to give me a call, use this number, please, 513-873-7134. Let's get into it. A woman that was recently killed by her estranged husband, this case in San Bernardino, where the estranged husband checks in at the front office in the school building in which his wife worked. As we gather now, she worked in a special needs class. Those people do incredible work. We rarely talk about the special needs folks, the special needs teachers and assistants. They do great work around the country, by the way. And basically blows her away, kills an 8-year-old boy, injures a 9-year-old boy, and then turns the gun on himself. Damn coward. These are black people, man. You don't expect these kind of things. I'm off. Listen, I don't know what to expect anymore. As I said, we are living in the last days of common sense. I don't know what to expect. For instance, I thought it was kind of like, I don't know, pretty much history that the Jews were gassed by the Nazis. That the Nazis used chemical weapons against the Jews. It was called the Holocaust. Apparently, you can become the White House press secretary, and you don't know this. Sean Spicer, a.k.a. Spicy, he's in hot water. We may get a chance to talk about it. 513-873-7134. Also, 50 Cent is my Mitch of the day. Have you seen this video of 50 Cent's? So 50 Cent said they're somewhere. There's some bar. They're on some. He's on a tour, and they're on some establishment. I'm not even sure where they were in the world. And 50 Cent is on stage looking whack, looking like he's just here for the money. And he comes sauntering over to like the left side of the stage, right? And then he stands up like on the edge, and he reaches into the crowd with his right hand to kind of shake people's hands. Well, apparently there was an overzealous fan, and this fan grabbed his hand, which sent him falling into the crowd. And I'd say it was a good 3 feet, maybe a 3 or 4. That's about 3 feet jump. And, clearly, 50's like in distress, because it's like the video is only 1 minute and 13 seconds long. You got to check this out. It's only 1 minute and 13 seconds long, but clearly, like at some point, 50 realizes I'm about to fall into the crowd. So what do? Well, as he's being dragged really off of the stage, the fan was out of bounds. I mean, it's one thing to hold somebody's hand. It's another to try to grab them off of a stage and make them fall off. So if you're 50 Cent, what do? I'll tell you what he did in just a minute. 513-873-7134. I'll be deep inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show Facebook group page or fan page. It is closed. If you want entrance, you gotta knock on the door, and we'll see what happens. Good morning to you, choppers. What's up?
I hear the choppers coming. I hear the choppers coming.
I hear him too. I hear him too. It is wild out here. It's getting wild, folks. And if you haven't seen this video, you may not believe it when I tell you what 50 Cent did. United Airlines is still being dragged, and they deserve it, pun intended, for allowing this passenger to be dragged. And now all of his information is out into the wind, so to speak. The media is talking about the fact that, well, apparently he got convicted in some drug-related ish. and had to fork over his medical license for 10 years. And I don't know all the details, but from what I gather, from what I've read and heard, he might have been using his medical license to sell dope. And I'm talking about the Asian man, David Dow, I believe his name is. And he was a man who was beaten when police came to remove him from the United flight. So like I keep telling you folks, 911 changed a lot of things. Things are different now. Well, just because it hasn't touched your life, don't think that things are the same. There's America before 9/11 and after 9/11. You have less rights now. You have less rights. And when you get on a plane, anything can happen to you in the name of safety. Anything. Anything can happen to you on a plane after 911. Anything. They could drag you into the cockpit and do whatever to you. And then say, oops, my bad. We thought you may have had a bomb. We thought you were a threat. The rules are different now. See, we as Americans were willing to give up a lot of our civil freedoms to fake feel safe. Because we only fake feel safe. It's called the Patriot Act. And many props to Barbara Lee for standing up and not signing that trash. I was on the air the whole time. I talked it down. I saw it coming, but hey, what can you do? I'm just one man with one microphone. What can you do? You do not have the same rights as you did before the Patriot Act, before 911. The game is different now. Will you ever fly United Airlines? Should we boycott United Airlines? They drugged this man off the flight essentially because they told him to get off the flight and he didn't go. That's what it all comes down to. Authority. Authority has more authority. Post 911. It's true. It is true. That is despicable. But will you fly United Airlines? And here's what I mean. Because you know what's going to happen. United Airlines is going to call that woman that the television show Scandal was based upon. And in a matter of 6 months, people will be begging to get on United Airlines. I know how the game is played.
I hear the chopper's coming. I hear the chopper's coming.
I hear something. I hear the choppers coming. Good morning, choppers. How are you? 513-873-7134. Last night, I thought I watched a little bit of what could have been history last night on cable television. I was watching Fox News. I watched about 15 minutes of what could have been Bill O'Reilly's last broadcast. That's what the rumor is. Last night, Bill O'Reilly announced that he was taking a vacation and he'll be back at the end of April. A lot of the critics and pundits are speculating as to whether he's going to come back at all. Why? Because the Crypt Keeper, a.k.a. Bill O'Reilly, these young girls don't want your old wrinkled ass man. They don't want you. They want something young. They want Trey Songz or who else is hot these days? I don't damn know. I don't know. But apparently Bill O'Reilly was using his position and his influence at Fox to push up on those young pretty things that you see on Fox. Why doesn't MSNBC pick up on this formula? We need more attractive pundits. That's what the Fox formula is. Anyway, so Bill O'Reilly, hey, listen, you want to do a segment on this show? You got to spend some time in his bedroom. Ladies, let's say you're a journalist or you really want to be in front of the camera on Fox News. Is it worth it? Keep it real now. Keep it real. I want to talk about that thought, Janet Jackson. Thoughting it up. See, it's amazing how Ken do, he's the worst dude ever. How dare he ask for any money, right? There's some women who don't think that Ken do, and that's the now estranged, soon to be ex-husband of R&B super legend, hip hop soul super legend, Mary J. Blige. They're no longer together. And you got women out there who like, be a man. Be a man. You shouldn't be asking no woman for support. Janet Jackson's about to walk away with half a $500 million. So if they have a prenuptial agreement, speaking of Janet Jackson and her billionaire ex-boo, and their prenup says, listen, if we're together for 5 years, at least. If we break up, you get $500 million. And they stay together 5 years and 2 months and then break up. That's starting the game right there. That's Janet. She was working that Il Nana for the money, period. Because that's too much of a coincidence. Like, wait a minute, you get to the finish line or you get to the 5-year mark, all of a sudden you want to leave. That was her game plan. You talk about gold digging. Damn, $500 million. But because it's Janet, because she's a woman, I bet you women won't process it that way. But that's what I see.
I hear the choppers coming.
I hear the choppers coming. To the props then. Let's get to the choppers. Let me back up inside the chop shop and say good morning to Tanika. Tanika writes good morning, Nate, and the choppers. Followed by Pat. Pat writes good morning, y'all. Chuck writes good morning, Nate, and the chop shop. And that's your top 3 for today, Wednesday. Damn, the week is going fast. April 12th, 2017. Remember, what is our motto for 2017? Winners focus on winning. Don't focus on what the next man or woman is doing in the cubicle or in the lane next to you. Run your race, choppers. Kiki writes, a great risings, Mr. Ivy and the choppers. And then so many lips. I'm just lip crazy this morning. Look at that, lips. Angela writes, good morning. CJ writes, good morning, everyone. Pam writes, good morning. Jennifer writes, good morning, all. Jane writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers. Jerica writes, hola. Tracy writes, hi. Dale writes, good morning, kings and queens by nature. Fame writes, good morning, choppers. Note to Gilligan's and sucker MCs. As soon as I step on your block, I'm lighting it up like Billie Jean. Rhonda writes, good morning, beautiful people in the chop shop. Good morning to you, Rhonda. Sluggo, X-Squad affiliate, salute, writes, good morning, everyone. Mike writes, good morning, fam. Kashana writes, morning. Deanna writes, good morning. Avery writes, good morning. Good to see everybody. Corinthia writes, good morning. Oh, no. People are having some issues. I'll reach out to my good friends at Spreaker and let them know. We can't have that. And let me know if you're still having issues. We'll give it a minute or two. Kelly writes, good morning, Nathan. Right, Kiki, I'm with you on that. Absolutely. See, Dale writes, I read that United Airlines has lost $1.5 billion. I don't know if that's true. Dale writes, I listen from TuneIn, but keep my Spreaker app open to still chat in the shop. That is one downfall to TuneIn, and I guess one good thing about the Spreaker app is that you can be interactive inside the chop shop on the Spreaker app, but not on TuneIn. But I know how it is. There's a lot of folks who may be on TuneIn for other programs, and you listen to this show on that platform as well, so I appreciate you. Let me throw the number out into the ether one more time, 513-873-7134. Brian writes, good morning. Tracy writes, thought, why that though? I'm just getting to it. Let's call it what it is. Tracy writes, why couldn't her husband just be a dumbass fool? See, we always want to blame the man. Tiffany writes, OMG, Tracy, you beat me to it. Kelly writes, morning, Chop Shop fam. Good morning to you, Kelly. Miss D writes, Nate, no one would be mad at Kendu if he followed Janet's lead and only saw what was outlined in the prenup. He is trying to be slick. Rhonda writes, can you text in the Chop Shop on TuneIn? Not through the TuneIn app, no. You can send text messages through TuneIn, and there are messages there. I mean, quite honestly, I don't get a chance to check them during the show. And maybe if more people are migrating there, I will. I do know that some folks have put things up on the in that particular TuneIn app. It does give you the capabilities, but not like Spreaker, not like the Chop Shop. Can we at least admit that Janet Jackson is a gold digger, that she's a hustler? Can we say that? I'll move away from thought. Dale writes, right, Nate, and she laid that golden egg, baby, to make sure she got that $500 million. Hashtag, she's a hustler. $500 million? That's crazy. That is crazy. Telling you, she gets the Pimp of the Year award on that one. I mean, hats off to Janet. If you can handle it, I mean, boom. Now I know why she wanted to be with a billionaire. I don't know. What do you tell your daughters? Do you tell your daughters to go for the money? Do you tell your daughters to go for love? I mean, as a mother, what do you tell your daughter? As a parent, I mean, do I keep it real with my daughter and say, listen, find you a man with money and you can fall in love later? I mean, what's the rules here? Fall in love with whoever your heart desires? Is that smart, really? I mean, what if little Buddha comes on with some bum ass Negro? I'm supposed to just accept him because she likes him? That's going to be tough to do. That's going to be very tough to do. What do? I'm going to have to come up with some kind of rule on this as she gets older. Because she's about to go to Walnut Hills and she's getting older. And, you know, she's about that age. She's going to start looking at boys. They're going to start looking at her. The best thing is that we've got a great relationship. That's the best thing. Mike writes, Janet is definitely a hustler. Serenthi writes, thank you, Miss D. You said it. Janet's husband set that prenup up that way. Kendu said bump his prenup and tried the nigga up. I don't understand. Clue Magic writes, good morning. I don't understand. Jennifer writes, I heard a rumor that she had to have a baby, that it was in the prenup. Not sure if that's true. Damn. I mean, would you have a baby at 50 for $500 million? I mean, really? I mean, if that was in the prenup, ladies, I'm asking you, would you have a child? Would you have a child at 50 for $500 million? That seems like a great trade-off. You get like a brand new friend, and you got plenty of money to take care of them. $500 million? But what would you do? I'd like to know. 513-873-7134. I'd love to know. Let's go straight to the phones. A call before the break. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Nathan, it's Tracy.
Good morning, Tracy.
Man, $500 million will make you do a lot of things that you would say that you would not do. That's the reality of it. I think the worst thing that people can do is put a time limit on the prenup, like you'll get paid at the end of XYZ years if you just hang in there with me. I mean, I think that's almost like a fatal error. And from what I was reading on the article, it sounds like his lawyer was trying to draft up a prenup and they couldn't decide on it. So he just ripped it up and he just put this $500 million dollar clause at the end of 5 years. And I think, what is that, like half of his fortune? He was only worth $1 billion. I mean, I'm not saying only lightly, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much money he's worth, but I would doubt he would give her half of his. Well, again, I mean, he was already a billionaire by the time they met. They got together late in life, so I don't know. I don't know the particulars.
I think, Nathan, that, you know, when you put that kind of stipulation on a prenup, you know, people find reasons to get bored and want a way out because that's all they have to do. It's just like if you took a job today, you know, left the radio and they said, at the end of 5 years, we're going to give you $500 billion. You probably take the money and go back in radio. I mean, that's your right. That's what people do. So
$500 billion, I'm there for at least 5 years. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't put all the blame on her because I just think that he wasn't very smart about it. I mean, he could have said 20 years. I mean, I don't know. But I just think when you put those years on it, that's what happens, and you get got. It's just you put the money out there, they take it and run, and you're stuck holding the bag.
Same thing with Kendu and Mary J. She married him.
That's different,
it's the same
Nathan.
thing,
That's
Tracy.
different.
It's the same thing.
Different.
Can I tell you how it's the same? It's the same because of all the circumstances you put out there. They decided to be together. She knew that he was the manager. She knew he had all these financial commitments. While they were together, she was taking care of him. She put him in a lifestyle. That's just the way the game goes.
But he cheated. That's the difference. He cheated. I mean, he could have stayed and still milked the cash cow. He cheated, and now you still want more? No, fool, buy it.
Well,
he cheated. That's a huge difference.
The only evidence that we have right now, Tracy, that he cheated is what Mary J. is saying. And she's a jilted woman. You can't take what she's saying for gospel right now. She's fragile. She's emotional. She's probably lying.
Okay, Nathan. He cheated, period. And his job in that marriage was to be a manager. You left the job, and you expect some forever severance. No, dude, go find the next victim.
I don't know what evidence that we have that he cheated. We don't have any evidence. For all we know, she could have been abusive, and she could have drove him away. We don't know because he hasn't spoken out. If she has evidence, she needs to put the evidence out there.
Okay. Well, I'm sure after they settle everything, the dust settles, she might, because old Kendu might have some kind of trick up his sleeve. If you talk, I'm gonna sue you for defamation. Man, he's a buster, man. I can't with that dude.
Wow. Yeah, and we don't even know what really happened, to be honest with you. I mean, Mary J said he's cheating, but I haven't seen any photographs of him
but
or anything like that.
Even back in the day, Nathan, they've been caught arguing and fighting up in the club because he's been trying to be on some slick stuff, talking to other women and stuff like that. I don't know.
I mean, clearly Mary J got some problems.
Element of truth to it.
But think about this. Clearly, Mary J got some problems. Clearly.
Nathan, you say that about all women. Halle Berry, all the women have problems in your eyes because, they have.
Tracy, that's just 2 women. That's only 2. I'm an advocate of women. Halle and now Mary J, they do have problems.
What's wrong with Mary J?
Well, she certainly has some insecurity issues, which is very, very interesting considering her fame and notoriety and wealth. And I'm sure at her age, on that level, her insecurities manifest in a relationship. And that can just be a terrible thing to deal with. So we don't know how that manifests. So we know that, number 1. Number 2, she got a track record of sleeping with men that's already in relationships because she did that with Kendu. That means she's got questionable choices and she's selfish, probably narcissistic. When Kendu was with another woman, she was probably thinking, I'm Mary J. He better be with me. And now you want to bellyache because the same man that showed you he wasn't loyal is disloyal to you? So that's just a couple problems off the top of the dome there.
Okay, Nathan. All right. I don't know. I think it'll all come out. I'll wait and see, but I don't think those 2 incidences are the same. Okay.
All right, Tracy, thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
Serenity writes, say it, Tracy. See, no support. I'm right. We don't know if Kendu really cheated. What evidence do we have? Mary J. And we know that Mary J is a jilted woman. We know he's moved on now, but he could have got pushed out the relationship. That can't happen, right? I can't wait to hear what Kendu has to say. And I bet you he's going to paint a very different portrait. That's if you're into that kind of stuff. More superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure coming up right after this.
With the Bloomberg Urban Report, I'm Donna Wilson. The Body Shop may soon have a new owner. L'Oreal has reportedly attracted bids from as many as 15 private equity firms for its Body Shop division, according to people familiar with the matter. A number of radio groups have asked the FCC to take a fresh look at its policy limiting an operator from owning no more than 5 AMs or FMs in a single market. But NABOB, the National Association of Black-Owned Broadcasters, is urging the FCC to keep the so-called subcap limits in place, arguing such a move would undermine the efforts of minority broadcasters. NABOB members own 180 radio stations. And Variety is reporting actor Don Cheadle is producing a biopic about Jeremiah Hamilton, Wall Street's first black millionaire.
The powerful performance and incredible battery life of new Dell PCs with Intel Core processors empower small business employees to do their best work wherever work takes them. Dell's U.S.-based small business advisors and price match guarantee mean you'll always get the best deal on the right solution tailored to your business needs. Powerful PCs are just the beginning of a great partnership. Call 877-BUY-DELL now to contact a Dell small business advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
Looks like some cable and phone companies are trying to sell home security. But when a burglar sees one of their signs in the front yard, what does it say? Oh, wow, this home has 599 channels. Or, oh, these guys have high-speed internet. But the ADT sign, it says, this family trusts the company whose name means security. So beat it. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes.
Learn more at ADT.com and to see licensing and terms and conditions.
That's your Bloomberg Urban Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
The average citizen can't take off work to attend a Cincinnati City Council meeting at 2 p.m. Actually, The average citizen has never even spoken with a Cincinnati City Council member. I'm going to change that. My name is Tamaya Denard, and I'm running for Cincinnati City Council to make your government more accessible to you. We should change City Council meetings to 6 p.m. so they're easier to attend. We should have a City Council meeting in all 52 neighborhoods. And we should explore changing our charter to stagger our elections. That way, you hear from council members more than once every 4 years. Government was designed to best serve its people. It's time we made City Hall more accessible to regular folks like you and me, and not just campaign donors. To find out more, visit TamayaDenard.com. When elected, I'm going to fight for you.
Major key alert. Don't ever play yourself. Life is like school. You will be tested, so pass it.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchooled.com.
Stay focused. Now that's a major key alert.
Brought to you by GetSchooled and the Ad Council.
Tired of searching online? 3linkdirectory.com has handpicked tens of thousands of quality links, so you don't have to spend hours searching. Find the best internet links on 3Link Directory. Visit 3linkdirectory.com now. Enjoy quality links sorted in categories like arts, games, health, shopping, sports, travel, and many more on 3linkdirectory.com. That's 3linkdirectory.com.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Good morning, Choppers. Currently 7:30 a.m. in the Queen City. Today is Wednesday, April 12th, 2017. Good morning and welcome back to the Nathan Ivey Show. We're online these days, and the show is made available as a podcast. Shortly following the end of the live show, we go live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend about the show. And I want to tell you about a brand new spot. It's called Park Place Restaurant. It's located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive off Winton Road. Stop by and check out lunch specials today from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the Healthy Choice menu. Are you looking for a cool spot to watch the game? You got the NBA playoffs coming up. You got the Reds are back. Then check out Park Place. Are you looking for a place to wind down? Matter of fact, Wednesday, Wind Down Wednesdays, half off on wine bottles. Today at Park Place. Are you looking for a place to host your meeting or events? Maybe you want to do a staff outing, or maybe you want to take a client somewhere. Well, then check out Park Place Restaurant. Park Place Restaurant is the place with a good Healthy Choice menu, live entertainment, and great prices. Come out on Wednesdays for half-price wine and speak your mind with spoken word on Thursdays. Park Place Restaurant has a live band every Friday with no cover charge, just food and drink specials. Park Place Restaurant is located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive in Forest Park, right behind Shell Gas Station. Or call ahead at 513-825-8888 to reserve your table. That's 513-825-8888. Park Place Restaurants, the place to eat. And Google it, Choppers. And, of course, your GPS will take you straight to them. When you're there and you see my friends out there, tell them you heard about it on The Nathan Ivey Show. 513-873-7134. In just a moment, I want to tell you much more about a networking opportunity. I'll say it again. Networking is an essential part of building wealth, of building your brand. Once you build it, you've got your products and services. You're pretty straight on your business plan. You've got your cards, your promotional items. You want to connect with the world around you for possible leads, business connections. And there's a wonderful opportunity, and it'll be out in Hamilton, Ohio at the Fitton Center. I'll give you all the details, but I do want to tell you it's April 22nd, 6:30 p.m. until 11 p.m. And for $25, you get entrance. You get inside the event. And I was talking with the promoter, and it's sort of like they've got like an indoor-outdoor thing envisioned, overlooking the Little Miami River. Should be a great time, and perhaps you could connect and further your brand. I'll give you all the details in just a minute. Angela writes, Kendu is as much of a questionable morality as MJ if he had an affair while married. Give me a break. We don't know he cheated. That's a shaky track record. Well, what's shaky? I'm just asking, and I asked, we don't know if Kendu cheated. Just because Mary J said he cheated doesn't mean he really did. We don't know that. And she's a jilted woman. You can't take a jilted person, and I'm just saying a jilted woman. Anybody who's emotional, they've been jilted, you can't take what they say about the person that jilted them for gospel. That would be a mistake. Come on now, mature people, we know better. We don't know what really happened. We don't know. All this rush to judgment, we have no idea. For all we know, Mary J cheated. 50 Cent should be arrested for what he did to this woman. So this is crazy. 50 Cent he's on a tour. He was performing with the Lox as a part of their Filthy America It's Beautiful tour. And prior to this, I didn't really it was in the back of my head. I heard it somewhere, but didn't really know that 50 Cent was on tour with the Lox. Are they coming to the tri-state area? Let me know, choppers. And he's on the stage. He's like on the left-hand side of the stage. And he's dressed like, I don't know, like he's not really for stage, but I mean, you know, it's hip-hop. It is what it is. All you need is a chain and a New York hat. And he goes over to like the edge of the stage where like the speakers are and everything. And he leans over the stage and he puts his hand into the crowd, his right hand, and he's like touching fans. And I don't know that I'm not that guy. That's not who I am. I'm not going to the club or going to the venue and standing up to touch somebody's hand. I don't care who it is. And I'll take a t-shirt, but the hand touching, I'm cool. Plus I got a little germophobia thing, so I don't know where 50's hands have been. A little OCD, just a little bit. Just a little. And so he reaches into the crowd, right? And you know how it's supposed to work. I guess he's supposed to high five a lot of people. If people want to touch 50's hand, I love you, 50. Oh, back of the club was my jam, all that kind of stuff, right? 50's had some jams over the years. He really has. Some cuts. And instead of letting his hand go, the woman, and it's a black female, she grabs his hand and then she basically pulls him into the crowd off of the stage. I say the stage is at least 3 to 4 feet high, which is high enough for you to injure yourself. That's high enough for you to injure yourself and be laid up in the hospital at the very least. And at 4 feet, if you land wrong, you can seriously injure yourself. Hell, you could get a concussion. So I can understand being upset. Like, she just grabbed him off. Now, part of the problem is that I guess this is something he does a lot. He reaches into the crowd. So what does 50 do? Well, you can see he's kind of like when he realizes that he's teetering over, he balls up his left hand and strikes the woman straight in the chest as he's falling down. So like imagine somebody's like, you're up on the stage and somebody has your right hand and they're pulling you down. And as they pull you down, you punch them so that the full weight of the punch and gravity pulling them down hits them squarely in the chest. I mean, he hit that woman like he would hit any man. Black female. I got a question about that. We'll get to it. What happens next was just, him trying to make up for it. And at some point, right afterward, like there's a big commotion, security comes over, and you can see 50 is pissed. And he's like, why would you pull me into the stands? Off of the stage. I understand he had a right to be pissed whether it was a man or female or male or female. I get that. But to punch the woman in the chest? Damn, you did reach your hand out, bro. Punched her in the chest, yo. And afterward, they invited her up on the stage and she started twerking. I mean, how you go from getting punched in the chest by 50 Cent to twerking while he's basically lip syncing some old tired ass 50 Cent songs? What is wrong with this world? That woman got a lawsuit. I'm watching it now. Hold on. Make sure I got it right. Yeah, he's like, oh, here he goes. Bow. Damn. I don't know. it almost looks like maybe he missed the punch and then ended up hitting her in the chest with like a left forearm, which can still be deadly. Then he gets back on stage. All of his boys came over. I mean, Cass is still rocking them same corny ass things with the chains and what. Come on, man. And then the security picks her up and puts her on the stage. I'm looking at her now. And she's got the shortest dress imaginable on. Now, you know she ain't built for that dress. She's not built for it. And now I'm looking at her twerking on stage. So now she can go and say, girl, I was on stage with 50 Cent. But you're only on stage with 50 Cent because he don't want you to hit him with a lawsuit. Now I'm going to go ahead and say it. If that was a white female, 50 Cent never would have struck her. He never would have took a swing at her. Telling you, everybody's up for grabs now. Females, makes no difference, especially black females. I got to be real with you. I must be real with you. That is ridiculous. Pam writes, or Cincy Tigers writes, LOL, maybe he was just gullible. She got game too. See, it's just so funny how women, I got to call y'all out. I love y'all. It's just so funny, these double standards. Now, when Kendu is looking like he's about to get over on Mary J., oh, he's the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever. You know damn well Janet Jackson just put off the relationship heist of the century, $500 million. What is she doing for $500 million? Damn, that's expensive. It's crazy. Angela writes, I saw that video and the silly chick jumps on stage and happily twerks like nothing happened. Wow, that mentality is blowing my mind. I think afterwards she's going to go home and her friends are going to say, girl, don't let him get away with doing that. And then maybe she'll try to go for the dollars. But again, if that was a white female, 50 Cent never would have struck her, I don't believe. But again, I never know. Look at what Afro Man did. Remember when the chick got up on stage and she was dancing around and he just turned around and cold cocked her. Cold cocked her. And then the Mitch boyfriend or whatever brother, he gets up on stage and picks her up and just leaves. You don't take a shot at him? This man just knocked your girlfriend or your sister or your female companion out on the stage. So you never can tell these days. Anything can happen. That's a good reason for me never to go see 50 Cent. Clue Magic writes, you are late, Nate. They already had a tour date here. It was at Bogart's last month. Huh. Tracy writes, I know where 50's hands has been. #power. Oh, see. Jordan writes, 50 Cent hasn't had respect for women in years. He's clearly a damaged person, probably still dealing with pain from his childhood. Yep. Yeah. Daddy wasn't there. Mommy wasn't there. I get it. I mean, at what age is that all on you, though? On what age is that all on you? 513-873-7134. So let me go back to this San Bernardino case. Bernardino? Yes, San Bernardino case. Because to me, this is amazing. More things are coming out within the last 24 hours. And now it's being revealed that this woman she had instant regrets after marrying the guy. I'm talking about the woman that was blown away in the special needs classroom by her estranged husband. And these are both people of color. You could say African American. And now what's being revealed is that through her mother, and could you imagine if now, your daughter marries a man, shortly after marrying him, your daughter's like, boom, dude, flip. And now this man has killed your baby and then killed himself. You can't even go get him. It's all over with. He took your loved one. That's some sad ish right there. It really is. But apparently a month into the relationship, she wanted to get out. She regretted it. A month into the marriage. And again, it's an article in which they were speaking with the mother of the woman that was killed in San Bernardino. And she says that her daughter felt as if he just flipped. Like they got together. He was the nicest person. And as soon as they got married, he flipped. Started getting super paranoid. Who you talking to? Where you going? Started pushing up on her, getting real physical and things like that. Now, I want to put it to you, ladies, and anyone, actually. Have you ever heard about something like this happening? These Jekyll and Hyde types. Now, in this case, we're talking about a man, but let's be honest here. I mean, you can marry a woman and everything seems cool, and then you get married and then she flips on you. That happens. That happens. That is amazing to me. After a month or two, I wonder how long they were dating. Because, see, that's another reason I like to find out, but at least 2-3 years before you marry somebody. And the older they are when you marry them, the more time that you need to spend around them, quite honestly, before you marry them. After 2 months, after 1 month after marrying this man, he flipped, started getting violent with her, start questioning where she was going. You know, one of these real paranoid types, one of these insecure types. I'm telling you, I don't know which is worst. Insecurity is a mother. It is. I wonder how many relationships have been destroyed because of either one or both of the individual's insecurities. You know, about themselves. You know, people can have insecurities about themselves, and because they don't know how to deal with it, they project it onto the person they're with. And then the person they're with is like, what the hell is this? And they're not prepared to deal with it in some cases. Destroys relationships. There's a lot of men out there that are insecure as hell. On the outside, they seem so super tough, but insecure as hell. And it really motivates and guides a lot of the things that they do. But people can flip on you. So you could be dating somebody for 6 months. You could make somebody for a year. People can lie for a year. They can hide who they are for a year, especially if you don't live together. Like, if you're one of those old-fashioned folks where you don't want to live together before you get married, I wouldn't recommend it. I recommend you rethink that just a little bit. You want to get a sense of who you're with. And I'll tell you why. The reason is because you never know how people raise their kids. When you meet somebody, you're getting the product of 2 other adults who created this child and then raised this child. And if they didn't raise that child right, there's no way that they're going to be able to give you what you need in a relationship. There's no way. And there used to be a time when you had more nuclear marriages and more stability where, you know, you could kind of take for granted that when you met somebody, there were some basic sort of emotional stability. There was basics in terms of, you know, self-worth, self-esteem, motivation. You can't take that for granted when you meet somebody these days. You don't know what you're getting. You talk about Russian roulette. It's relationship roulette out here. You have no idea. You got people coming from broken homes and mommy wasn't there, mommy, daddy was there, or maybe the problem was mommy and daddy was there. Abuse, emotional abuse, drug abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. You got all kind of stuff going on out here. Drug addicts raising kids, and then mommy gets clean, and when the kid's 15. Well, thanks. I'm glad you clean now, mom, but now I'm messed up. I've been spent 15 years with a drug addicted parent. So you never know these days when you meet somebody what their real background is. You have no idea until you're actually with them and experiencing life with them and dealing with things. And by then, in some cases, it may be too late. It may be too late. What do you think of my theory? 513-873-7134. Tracy writes, the moment she started tweeting will be the end of her lawsuit. He said, the moment she started twerking. Yeah, this woman, how do you go from getting elbowed in the chest by 50 Cent to now they ask you to come up on stage and you're twerking in the background? What's wrong with these folks? I don't know which is worse, what 50 Cent did or what she did to herself. Talk about playing yourself. Kiki writes, post that video, Mr. Ivy. Okay, let me grab it for you. Here it is. Boom, boom. I'm gonna go to friends. I'm gonna put it in the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivy Show page. That's not the Friends. There we go. I'll post it here so everybody can see it if you haven't already seen it. And it's I don't know, it's sad. I mean, what kind of man is out here elbowing women? I get it. She pulled you down. I get it. But damn, I always think like, okay, what if that was one of my family members? Okay, it's posted. It's posted inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show, Kiki. Angela writes, she got a story and video for her kids and grandkids. Cerinthia writes, I was just about to say that, Nate. Can't be damaged if you're on stage twerking, right? So what are you going to tell the judge? When the judge says, well, if you were so injured and you were so offended, well, why did you get up on stage and start twerking? Oh, my God, my people. Cerinthia writes, and she's got jokes. In Afro Man's defense, it was because he got high. Brian writes, speaking of relationship, wifey and I were having a conversation on Tyrese and his non-black wife, according to my wife. I really don't care then what wife is salty, but wifey is salty at him for not marrying a sister. There goes that double standard. A sister can date. John B's right. You know, the sisters, you know, come on now. Everybody's hypocritical. Everybody got a little hypocriticalness in them from time to time. I mean, come on now. We're all self-centered creatures at some point in our life. I get it, but that is a big double standard by the sisters. It really is, because sisters will criticize a black man for being with a non-black woman, but then they'll applaud a black woman for being with a non-black man. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I say love who you love. It's 2017. Love who you love. I don't know what the big deal is about Tyrese. If he wants to marry a sister or a white woman or an interracial woman or a very, very light-skinned black woman, that's cool. Go right ahead. I still don't understand what the big controversy around Tyrese and his wife is. I mean, to me, she looks like a very light-skinned woman. Maybe she's mixed or something, but if he wants to refer to her as a black queen, go right ahead. There's worse things that he could be referring to his woman as. It's something positive. He's happy. They're happy. Great. But there is a double standard. There really is among black women. There really is. Cynthia Tigers writes, Cedric Anderson's Facebook page has been turned into a remembers page, and people are posting like crazy on it. He has some strange posts. Obviously, a troubled man. Really? Well, let me go to his Facebook page myself. Cedric Anderson, right? He should be trending. Oh, here he is. I have one mutual friend with Cedric Anderson. The hell? Who is that friend? And someone inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show posted a video of Mr. Cedric Anderson. Again, that is the man who is alleged to have committed a murder-suicide. He murdered his estranged wife and an 8-year-old boy who later died. He injured a 9-year-old boy and then killed himself like a sucker. And I'm looking at pictures of him. I mean, he just took a picture on February 27th with his eldest son. But again, you never know what people are dealing with inside. You never know. And I'm looking at the woman who now has been, the recently departed, the victim, quite honestly. And there's a lot of these weak ass men running around here intimidating women. They never get to the level of, maybe committing a murder-suicide, but domestic violence is real. You got a lot of men out there that think that they can control a woman. See, I understand. I don't control my wife. We're partners. We're partners. She got a right to do what she want to do, to feel how she wants to feel. And as a grown man, I have to process that in a mature way. My wife could come to me tomorrow and say she wants to leave me for somebody else. You think I'm going to murder her because of that? She could come down here today and say, you know what? I'm giving grapes to another man. You know what it has to do? I have to suck it up and move on. That's what will have to happen. A murder, suicide, I just don't get it. But again, I cherish life. I love me. Nathan loves Nathan. So I don't understand it. I think it's mental illness maybe. And I'm on the Facebook page right now of Cedric Anderson. That's the man, the San Bernardino murder-suicide man. And, they look so happy together. Although there's something in her eyes. It's a little bit, And again, apparently she had regretted being married immediately after getting married. I mean, that's a damn shame. It really is. But maybe he thought that once he got her, boom, I got her now. So now You're my wife. You're my slave. You're my mom. Are there any warning signs, ladies? Like maybe if a dude or a person is too clingy. Maybe if a person becomes kind of paranoid. What are the warning signs? Brian writes, Mike writes, a double standard's worth both ways. Angela writes, supposedly the man had a history of domestic violence. See, that's one thing. You know, you meet a man, he's got a history of domestic violence, ladies. You got to really, 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 really question that. And, you know, how much information should you be able to access about someone who you're thinking about getting married to? So, for instance, let's say you meet a guy, ladies, and you want to get a police check on him. You want to know if he's got a criminal history. I mean, isn't it fair to know if somebody has a criminal history before you married him? I think so. Like if I'm your fiance and I'm about to marry a woman, I want to know whether you have a criminal history for several reasons. Number one, I mean, at the top of the list, I want to know whether you're a problem for me. Number two, if you got a criminal history, that can make it more difficult to do certain things that I might want to do in life. So I have to assess that. I want to make a decision with all the available information, right? That's how I am. I'm sure that's how you are. But you meet somebody, you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know what the hell's going on. If you meet a man and he's got children, you need to talk to the baby mamas. You need to talk to them baby. You need to know what that woman's perspective is. I mean, to me, a telltale sign, and I've observed this in some men, is a man who maybe he has got children with another woman and that relationship doesn't work out. Maybe they were married. Maybe they were never married. And then he meets new women and he just goes out of his way to dog out the mother of his children. To me, that's a telltale sign in terms of disrespect of women. How about the good old fashioned, does he have a good relationship with his mama? I mean, ladies, how do you assess a man to know whether he's okay or not? Just curious. Cincy Tigers writes, black women are least likely to date outside of their race. Corinthia writes that Jekyll Hyde types can lie as long as they need to. With those types, it is mainly about possession, marriage. That marriage certificate is the nail in the proverbial coffin. That guy from Cali did more than act off of his ill thoughts. He went into that school knowing that he wasn't coming out. He made his peace with his maker because he wasn't going to spend a day in jail to respond for his actions. His control consumed him to the point where he planned her expiration date. Right, that is control. And they just got married. That's straight up control. And he couldn't take it. She probably was like, listen, I don't want to be with you no more. Who are you going to be with? You going to be with Johnny or Bobby or Ricky and Bobby, Bill, Biv DeVoe? Who are you going to be with? You're leaving me for the new edition? I mean, some guys are like that. Some guys are like that. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and they flip on you? Have you ever had experience with, as Corinthia put it, and I love this, the Jekyll and Hyde types, male or female? 513-873-7134. I want to hear your thoughts. Have you ever been in a relationship, had experience with the so-called Jekyll and Hyde types? Is that bipolar? Everybody's bipolar these days. Everybody's bipolar. Everybody got some kind of issue these days. Are these excuses? And what have I been telling you? I've been telling you for months that the murder-suicide rate, and I'm noticing among African Americans, seems to be higher than ever before. Today is Wednesday. I was talking about this on Monday and Friday. And since then, we have two more high-profile incidences. One, we had a case of a woman who shot her mother's boyfriend, killed her sister, then turned the gun on herself. And now this black man killed his estranged wife because she didn't want to be with him anymore. Well, life goes on. Boo-hoo. You can't force a person to be with you. People have free will. See, I understand things. I have a different mentality. As I said, my wife, who I love and adore, could come to me today and say, it's over with, B. I'm out. And I got to take it. I got to deal with it. Life goes on. You know, I pick myself up, turn on my Eric Benet, and move on. That's it. But what you don't do is grab a weapon and go to her damn job. For what? That's not your child. You're not God. You don't have the right to take someone's life for something so arbitrary. Now, self-defense is one thing. You got to do what you got to do. That wasn't self-defense. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning, Nathan. This is Tanika. How are you?
Hey, Tanika. What's going on?
I'm doing well. I just had to call in on the topic that you're talking about. I really believe that there are signs. I think there's always signs. I just think that people choose to ignore them, and they may be very slight signs. But, you know, people think they can change people, or they think like, oh, that's not too bad. But, you know, once you get locked in, then those red flags, they escalate. But I really believe there's always signs. I've been with guys, and, you know, I'll be like, wait a minute, that's not right. Even the last guy I was with, he had control issues. Sometimes they were subtle, sometimes they were not. But I knew I had to get up out of there because I don't play that. You ain't going to control me. So,
like, what would he do?
And now he's even trying to get back. He would be like, who you talking to? Like, if I was on the phone with him and I click over, who is that? I'm like, why? I just want to know, what you trying to have? I'm like, dude, no, I can't take that. So it'll be like little stuff like that. Or one time, he just started, like, texting me out of nowhere. And I'm like, what? He was like, who is that? Who is this guy? Who is this Eric guy? I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? And so he was like, you made a comment on Facebook. I'm like, Facebook?
Facebook?
Okay. So, yeah, Facebook. So I went to the comment, and once I started reading it, I made a comment. Well, this guy that I knew from high school, he made a comment on my Facebook page. It was a picture, but it was like February of 2014. I didn't meet this guy through February of August. Of August of 2014. So it had been months since I made the comment. But I guess he was just looking at my page and looking at my pictures, and he saw a comment from a guy that was from months before I met him.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Stuff like that. I know you got an issue, so I'm like, dude, I got to let you go. Peace out. I can't handle it.
How long were you, messing with him?
We were together almost a year we were together. But I would see stuff from the beginning. And I was like, I just know I'm not going to do that. So I had to cut him loose.
How long were you together before you started to say these little things like, you know, get possessive and like he was double checking up on you on social media?
I'd say about 4 months, maybe.
Yeah. Sounds like a sucker.
Yeah, a sucker. I had to let that sucker go, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I
because
believe it's always signs. People just ignore them.
So again, Tanika?
I said I believe that there's always signs, but people ignore them.
They do, because they get caught up in a new relationship and they want to be loved. They want to have a companion, and it's like, maybe he's tripping. He's just tripping, but that's crazy, though. That's crazy.
But you know what I found out about him, Nate? He had a lot of mommy issues. His mama died when he was little. So I agree with you. A lot of things that people do, it stems from their childhood because they have issues. We all have something. But it comes from our childhood, and I used to tell him, like, dude, look, you need to get some counseling. Like, you know, I had to get counseling for things that happened in my life, and I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Get you a counselor, work that stuff out, and deal with it. But, you know, you got to first admit that there's a problem.
You do, and that's a very mature thing you told him. And there's not, he shouldn't have taken that as a negative. You were trying to help him. Go get some help. Go talk to a counselor, because if you're not all the way together, there's no way in the hell he's going to be able to give you what you're looking for and what you need in a relationship. He just isn't equipped. And there's a lot of folks out there that just won't face the music. Sit down and talk with somebody. Work these issues out. There's people 40, 50 years old talking about stuff that happened to them when they was 15. It's over. It's over. Yeah, but you got to move past that.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Thank you for the call.
You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Tanika. She is always welcome to call. She had a great voice. Good to talk to her. That's a very interesting story. Dude was wilding out. I think she did the right thing. If she was my little sis, I'd tell her to do the same thing. Get out of there. You don't have time for no clingy individual with some mommy issues. And listen, we don't have to be negative. I'm not going to lampoon you or put you on blast because you got issues. I would just simply tell a person, like, listen, I like you. But unless you go do this and do that, we can't be together. We can't be together because your life, it's not your job to raise somebody else's kid. That's not your job. If you meet somebody in a relationship setting, you're looking for a companion. You don't want to be their parent. And if their parents didn't do their job, they might be a great person and have all these great qualities. You got to be strong enough to just move on. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people, they won't admit this, but a lot of people are so desperate, especially as they get older. I've seen this in a lot of women. They get so desperate for companionship or finding that connection or finding the one that they'll accept some Gilligan-ass Negro. And they know he ain't 100% because he's 25%. And for me, I value myself much more than that. I want 100%. If I can have 100%, I don't want any of it. I mean, when you're looking for a mate, you should find what you're looking for, not settle for kind of what you want. He's kind of cool. No, you're worth more than that. That is deep. Same thing can happen with women, though. Same thing can happen with women. You have women out there who are getting caught up. You know, we know that the epidemic of fathers not in the household, that has a tremendous effect. More on some people than others. Some people have visible signs of those kind of issues. Some people can kind of like bottle it up and still be functional. And I call it the adult children of whack-ass parents. That's what I call it. And what do you do? What do you do? That's not your deal. You didn't make these mistakes. You didn't create this person. You didn't raise this person. But now you're trying to be in a relationship with this person, and you feel like there may be some things that are just not there. And here's the deal about it. They'll never be there. They'll never be there. It is what it is. You just got to kind of let those people go and just be. Those are the kind of people you just kick it with. You don't wife or husband those kind of people up. You just kick it with them. Gosh, choppers. Trying to help you here now. 513-873-7134. Angela writes, this gives more credence to getting background checks on the people you deal with, male or female. This man had red flags. If I meet a divorced man, I would be inclined to have a sit down with the ex-wife. Angela sounds like a very smart woman. Right. Ladies, talk with the ex-wife. Talk with the baby mama. Don't just believe what this man is telling you. Because men lie. People lie. Because you got to understand, if you meet a man and he's got a child with a woman's first inclination is to couple up with the man she has a child with. So what went wrong there? And you got to ask yourself, do you want to deal with the aftermath of something like that? Scott writes, I work in retail, and lately I've seen more interracial coupling where a black woman is with a white man and they have a child. Well, listen, I'll say it again. This world is so crazy. Find love wherever it is. Wherever you're looking for love, I hope you find it. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, and we'll be right back.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Dare you getting that college education?
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher. Be my teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I'm waiting.
The Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
First part, Nathan Ivey, the man, Cincinnati's only voice. And go to NathanIvey.com, man. Check him out.
Listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now, let's get back to the flow.
Got a great opportunity for you, choppers. Any entrepreneurs out there? Maybe you're starting something special. You want to extend your sphere of influence, perhaps do some networking. Well, there's a networking happy hour, and it'll be at the Fenton Center for Creative Arts on April 22nd. That's 10 days from today, April 22nd. It is a Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Again at the Fenton Center for Creative Arts. Unwind and socialize with regional and local professional entrepreneurs. Perhaps make great connections in a fun and relaxed atmosphere while expanding your network of contacts. Now, $25 gets you inside the door. It also gets you access to the buffet, also free beer. They will have a cash bar. They're doing a 3-hour limo giveaway courtesy to good folks at Mayoral Limousine Service. So make sure you bring your business cards, choppers. I'll say it again. Networking is an essential part of building wealth, of building your brand. Again, that's April 2nd, 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Fenton Center for Creative Arts. FITTON, choppers, Center for Creative Arts. Here's the address. 101 South Monument Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011. Again, 101 South Monument Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011. And I got a chance to speak with the folks who are putting it together. And they've got big things planned. Essentially, they want to connect the region, essentially, and provide opportunities for folks throughout this region, Southwest Ohio, Cincinnati, the surrounding areas. Again, this is in Hamilton, Ohio. So it could be a real opportunity for you. Again, as I said, $25 gets you inside the door, free buffet, free beer. They got a cash bar, and you can join healthcare, transportation, corporate and nonprofit organization executives, real estate developers, who else? Financial planning consultants, sales, marketing, hair care, salon professionals, and much more. You can network your business. And if you got a startup, they're really encouraging you to attend. So they're trying to connect a lot of folks throughout the region, maybe connect some folks from Cincinnati to Hamilton. And again, if you're starting something new, if you've got a venture, if you've got a product or service, this could be an opportunity for you to connect with folks. I would tell you that in my own business endeavors, networking is essential. It's absolutely key. For what I'm doing. So perhaps you may feel the same way. And again, there's a link on my Facebook page. I'll repost it later today, right after the show, and you can find them on Facebook. And if you're interested, let them know. Again, that's on the 22nd at the Fenton Center for Creative Arts, FITTON. And that's April 22nd, networking happy hour in Hamilton, Ohio. And I've never been to the venue, but they were describing it to me. And I went to like the Fenton Center for Creative Arts website, and it looks really, really cool. As I said, they've got like an outdoor, indoor kind of vibe, DJ, polite conversation, and hopefully you making connections.
I hear the chopper's coming. I hear the chopper's coming.
Fame writes, not sure where they found her. I hope there's more of them. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Serenthi writes, the movie The Burning Bed is a prime example of Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. Akeem writes, Jordan Kilgore is freaking awesome. Uh-oh. Dara writes, I think she served him a divorce papers and he couldn't handle that. I mean, how are you going to abuse a woman and then be upset and emotional when she wants to leave you? Rhonda writes, my brother's mother was killed by her boyfriend. Whoa. Which was a murder-suicide. And that happened way back in the early 70s. So Suck MC's been out there for years. We just have internet now. My mother's brother was killed by her boyfriend. No, I'm sorry. My brother's mother was killed by her boyfriend. Wow. Wow. Carolyn's asking me to share my harps. Now, I'm very selfish with my harps. But for you, Carolyn, here we go. There you go. Craig writes, what's up, Nate and the Choppers? Cincy Tigers writes, do y'all remember LaShawn Pettis Brown, the guy who supposedly ripped the city off for funding the refurbished Regal Theater? He was wanted and on the run in New York and went on a date with a woman and got arrested. She had run a background check on him prior to her date. You know what? I'm not going to say that I know LaShawn Pettis Brown, but many years ago when I first got to what was then called The Buzz, once a week for about, I don't know, we may have did like 5 or 6 episodes. We were doing a live show on relationships from a club downtown called Club Dream. We broadcast the thing live and everything. Matter of fact, BL used to come down. Black Lion used to come down. For all the folks who think that we're really at each other's throats, nah. That's really more like a big brother, little brother thing, you know. He's like a little brother to me. You know how it is with little bros. But he used to come down, and I never saw him dance, but he was at the party. And we had people come down, a panel relationship. It was really, really cool. Nice little spot down there. And I'm not even sure his Dream is still around. I don't think it is. But LaShawn Pettis Brown used to come down as well. I had no idea who the guy was until he introduced himself to me. And once I knew who he was, of course, I became very inquisitive and would ask him a lot of different questions about things that was happening with him. You're right. And he took some of that money and went to Japan. Yeah. And it was me, the owner of the club, and I forget the guy's name, and myself. And for whatever, I think LaShawn Pettis Brown was trying to work with the dude, the owner of Club Dream, to be like a club promoter. And so he was coming down, and he was down a lot. And again, he seemed like a cool guy. Like, again, I get along with everybody. He seemed like a cool guy to me. We never had any bad words and any cross words or anything like that. And he used to tell us stories about him spending money and stuff like that. It was wild. It was wild. And, stuff he used to do when he was in Japan and traveling around and all that kind of stuff, being wanted. And his story was completely different, of course. His story was that the city got it wrong. What else is he going to say? But just to give you some insights on that, very interesting. LaShawn Pettis Brown. And that is what happened. And then turn him in. What kind of woman does that? I mean, I don't think you should be doing that on a first date. Like, I don't think that. See, people get it upset. They get it twisted. It's not the person that you don't know that you got to double check on. It's the people that you do know in some cases. And so she was going to meet LaShawn Pettis Brown on a date and then just ran a background check on him. I think maybe they had been dating for a while. I don't know. That's kind of strange to me. Let's see. Akeem writes, ish, here we go with that criminal history BS. People change for the better. I'm prime example. Women be the quickest to judge. I changed 180 degrees once I put that bottle down. I apologize for being a turn-up king at one point in my life. You were the turn-up king? Fame writes, my 3 deal breakers. 1, did she ever not have custody of any of her kids? 2, any type of fake hair on her head? And 3, worse than a 3 to 2 kids, fathers of those kids ratio. Once you pass those, we can pursue a relationship. Well, it's good to know you have standards, Fame. No fake hair? The hell? Akeem writes, forget Eric Benet. You better put in some Too Short and keep it moving. Clue Magic writes, sounds like an insecure type. You talking about the brother Cedric Anderson who committed a murder-suicide? I don't understand it. I really don't. I think it's mental illness. Number one, if you cared about yourself, then to me, isn't that going to project in terms of allowing other people to live their lives? Like, for instance, clearly Cedric Anderson didn't have anything to live for. He had kids, too. He had grown children. I don't get it. If a woman says she don't want to be with you anymore, it's over, man. It's over. Move on. Don't whoop her. Don't beat her. Don't break her window. Don't not pay whatever you said you were going to pay to the end of the month. Be a man about it. Pick yourself back up. Hey, maybe there's some things you can learn about in yourself. Maybe you can step your game up. Step your game up, turn on Eric Benet, and move on with your life. That's it. I don't understand that. I really don't. I have no understanding of these weak men. If a woman says she's tired, if she wants to move on, then she moves on. That's it. Just same thing with a man. Ladies, if your man comes to you tomorrow, your husband comes to you tomorrow and says, listen, I ain't happy. What are you going to do? Are you going to beg him to stay? Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not trying to act all hard because, like, at the end, if it was me, I'd be soft as hell. You know, I'd be emotional. You know, I'm an emotional Virgo. But I'm being real with you. Life goes on. Oh, my gosh. Akeem is going super hard. Fame writes, black people scared of mental health counseling like lesbians are afraid of penis. What? I'm not sure if that's the same, bro. Sorrenthy writes, I was in a domestically abusive relationship. During the courting stage, he was totally different than when we made it official. The physical abuse started once he felt I was his. See? Some of these dudes think that you don't own a woman. You're a partner. My wife is my partner. When you get married, you're coupling up. That becomes your partner. She's not a possession. Oh, my gosh. That's why I say, like, that's why I don't get mad at black women for dating outside their race. Do what you got to do. Find love wherever you find it. Black, white, green, whatever, old, young. If they want to roll with you and they're talking on some real positive stuff, then roll with them. Period. Life is too short. Find love where you find love. You find somebody, they reciprocate what you're trying to find, and they seem like they're well put together, and they believe in terms of the same kind of lifestyle that you want. Hey, couple with them. You don't have to lose yourself. Don't lose your identity if you're dating outside of your race, if you're a person of color. But couple up. Cincy Tigers writes, yes, Carolyn, don't usually go for golden tone fellas, but he is fine to me, harps. What are y'all talking about? Why am I doing harps? Who are these harps for? I have no understanding, but I'll do it for you. Deanna writes, my sister was in an abusive relationship. It was a stressful time not being able to do anything until the person who was in the relationship is ready to get out. One day she decided to leave. She picked her son up from daycare and never went back. Leaving is the most dangerous time. I sent her and my nephew to California on the Greyhound bus with nothing but a few items bought from Walmart. I wanted to put a contract out on that buster. She's good now. I know a lot of people in the chop shop know her. Well, I'm very happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear. And listen, if you're one of these men on the low, you got to check yourself, man. Listen, a woman is not an object. She's your partner. If you get a good woman, I'm telling you, to all the brothers listening right now, one of the realest things you can do is to get a woman, be faithful to her, partner with her and build a life with her. It is one of the most positive, one of the greatest things you ever do in your life is to find a woman that has your back, you have her back, and you build together. It's beautiful. Now, is it the same as New Il Nana? No. But we're not trying to hit that benchmark, okay? You do that when you're young. You're older now. I'm talking to mature individuals. It's a black man. What's one of the illest things you can ever do in your life? Is to find your queen, be faithful to your queenie, build with your queen, create a life with your queen, either with children or without children. Give back to your community. It's one of the best. Your family, the best thing you can do. So, who are these men who are finding these fantastic females and then abusing them? Who are these men? I don't get it. Big L writes, yo, what's good, Nathan? Everything, man. Glad that you can be with us this morning, Big L. X-Squad affiliates. Cerinthia writes, the issue came when I started bring his ass the way he was trying to beat mine. The last straw, I tried to kill him. After being isolated and feeling like I had nowhere to go, I made the choice that I would be homeless with nothing and then to keep dealing with that mess. No person should have to deal with that kind of mess. No one, no woman should have to deal. That's a weak-ass man to me. Not on my watch. Can't do it. I pray for a Negro to do that to my daughter. I pray for him. I pray for him in advance because I know me. And with my children, I don't have no chill whatsoever. And I'm no different than you are. And every parent, when it comes to your child, there's no chill. So I pray that never happens because I fear what I would do. If little Buddha calls me and says, I'm there. But of course, he'll already know that way beforehand. I don't spare my tongue. I say what I need to say, especially when it comes to my family members. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Kelly writes, so I was just talking to my daughters and their friend about how we can develop a good screening tool to weed out potentially dangerous, yucky young men. In this culture of social media, the teens allow people they have absolutely no connection to into their personal spaces too soon. Once one proves themselves a little frightening, then they have to figure out how to feel cool unfriendliness, someone who knows all your friends, what schools you go to, or school you go to, etc. All without ever having met you in person. I'm killing it. I'm just garbling it, Kelly. It's not your writing. I told them not to befriend folks on social media that they haven't known at least 6 months from face-to-face interactions. No crushes until screened by big sis and parents. Next, I will arrange marriage. And then life is good. These kids are broken and hurting people at very young ages. Got to be careful. She said she's going to arrange the marriage. I mean, damn, do we have to get should that be the practice now? Just to make sure that the person that is marrying your child is coming from a good family. I'm telling you, family background means everything. Everything. I'll say it again. You show me a messed up adult that's got issues, it happened in their childhood, and more than likely it's either mom and or dad's fault. It's the truth. Either they coddled you or they neglected you. Either it was physical abuse or emotional abuse. A lot of people deal with that. Key C writes, good morning, all. Good to see you, Key C. Key C writes, Cincy Tigers writes, I get it. Dude pulled a gun on me and begged me to shoot him. Once I left that night, never returned. Saw my life flash before me. Wow. I know better now. Wow. Pulled a gun on you? Dude pulled a gun on you and then begged you to shoot him? Man, I'm glad you're here with us. I really am. This is real. This is real. And there are women, in fear right now in relationships. Now, listen, right now we're talking about the whole dynamic where you have a man who is a sort of the aggressor, but there are men out there who are abused. There are men that get smacked in the face and get punched. And they got good, kind hearts. They were raised to never hit a woman. They're not violent. When they love hard. And their women are smacking them in the face and dogging them out in front of people and calling them names when they go out with couples and smacking them and pushing them and doing all kind of stuff to them. And men just kind of take it because they feel like, number one, if I report it, then they're going to call me a Mitch. Oh, look at this, Mitch. Your wife hit you. Oh, go home. And then number two, they feel like that's what they're supposed to do in a relationship. Cincy Tigers writes, Kelly, that's smart. My mom was in a domestic violence relationship most of my young life. I don't have daughters, but it is so important to teach them respect to you. Angela writes, I have met a couple of lunatics. You've met a couple of lunatics? Damn. Kelly writes, and while we're on the subject of Kendu, abuse, etc., let me use this discussion to publicly tell my husband that I am grateful he loves me, treats me kindly, and that I can rest with him feeling protected. Not to be taken for granted, I've met plenty of scary guys. Really? Damn, see, I knew I was on to something. You show me a scary guy, goes back to his mom, goes back to his dad. Oh, Angela, okay, a little inside baseball there. I'll leave it inside the chop shop. Serenthia writes, I grew up watching my mom being abused. Because I was angry with my mom, I said I wouldn't be like her. Turned around and found myself in the same situation as her. Trying to run from who I thought I didn't want to be like, I ran to it. I felt like crap for being so critical of my mother once I found myself making decisions she had once had to make. Damn, you sharing a lot, Serenthia. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to do so, because that's real right there. You know, we grew up saying we're never going to do what our parents did, and in some cases we end up doing the exact same things. And that's why the role modeling, the example that your parents set for you is so key. It's so key. Nathan Ivey, I'm live, local, and vocal. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, and we'll be right back.
I'm Donna Wilson. The Body Shop may soon have a new owner. L'Oreal has reportedly attracted bids from as many as 15 private equity firms for its Body Shop division, according to people familiar with the matter. A number of radio groups have asked the FCC to take a fresh look at its policy limiting an operator from owning no more than 5 AMs or FMs in a single market. But NABOB, the National Association of Black-Owned Broadcasters, is urging the FCC to keep the so-called subcap limits in place, arguing such a move would undermine the efforts of minority broadcasters. NABOB members own 180 radio stations. And Variety is reporting actor Don Cheadle is producing a biopic about Jeremiah Hamilton, Wall Street's first black millionaire.
The powerful performance and incredible battery life of new Dell PCs with Intel Core processors empower small business employees to do their best work wherever work takes them. Dell's U.S.-based small business advisors and price match guarantee mean you'll always get the best deal on the right solution tailored to your business needs. Powerful PCs are just the beginning of a great partnership. Call 877-BUY-DELL now to contact a Dell small business advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
Looks like some cable and phone companies are trying to sell home security. But when a burglar sees one of their signs in the front yard, what does it say? Oh, wow, this home has 599 channels. Or, oh, these guys have high-speed internet. But the ADT sign, it says, this family trusts the company whose name means security. So beat it. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes.
Learn more at ADT.com and to see licensing and terms and conditions.
That's your Bloomberg Urban Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Good morning, choppers. Welcome back. Currently 8:34 a.m. in the Queen City. And this is The Nathan Ivey Show, the last honest place in Cincinnati, Ohio. And good morning, choppers. My wife and I love to find new spaces and new spots, should I say, in the city of Cincinnati to either hang out or maybe get a bite to eat. And I found a new spot. It's called Park Place Restaurant. It's located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive off of Ridden Road. Stop by and check out lunch specials today from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They've got them all week with a healthy choice menu. Are you looking for a cool spot to watch the game? The Reds are back. You got the NBA playoffs that'll be starting in a few weeks. Well, then check out Park Place. If you're looking for a place to wind down, check out Park Place. Perhaps you're looking for a place to host a meeting or event. Maybe you got a staff outing in mind. Check out Park Place. Park Place Restaurant is the place with a good, healthy choice menu, live entertainment, and great prices. Come out on Wednesdays. Today is Wednesday. Step out today for half-price wine and speak your mind with spoken word on Thursdays. Park Place Restaurant has a live band every Friday with no cover charge, just food and drink specials. Park Place Restaurant, located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive in Forest Park, right behind Shell Gas Station. Or you can call ahead to reserve your table at 513-825-8888. Choppers, again, to reserve your seat, that's 513-825-8888. Park Place Restaurant, the place to eat. And Google it, choppers. Good morning. I want to hip you to the game. If you're trying to push your business endeavors, your brand forward, well, then you might be looking for networking opportunities. There's a great networking opportunities where listen, I am for sure that if you're from the city of Cincinnati, that area, at this networking opportunity, you'll interface with folks who may normally you don't get a chance to see. Maybe that's the location of it. It's going to be out in Hamilton, Ohio. It's Networking Happy Hour in Hamilton, Ohio. It's April 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's at the Fenton Center for Creative Arts. Bring your business cards. Number one, you want to network. Number two, that business card might win you a 3-hour free limo ride, courtesy Mario's Limo Service. The Fenton Center for Creative Arts, 101 South Monument Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011. Now, $25 gets you inside, also gets you access to the free buffet, and also free beer for you. They got a cash bar for everything else, and you can unwind, socialize with regional and local professional entrepreneurs, and make great connections in a fun and relaxed atmosphere while expanding your brand overlooking the Little Miami River. I haven't been to the Fenton Center for Creative Arts, but from what I've seen online and have been told, it is a great spot. Indoor, outdoor. Just imagine it, choppers. Indoor, outdoor, DJ in the background, buffet, right? You're interacting with individuals on a multitude of levels and expanding your brand. So you can join healthcare, transportation, corporate and nonprofit organization executives. There'll be folks there from sales, marketing, financial planning consultants, P&G, GE Aviation, hair care salon professionals, and much more. When you attend, let them know you heard about it on the Nathan Ivey Show. Let's move on.
I hear the chopper's coming. I hear the chopper's coming.
Yeah, I heard him too. Dale writes, my queen told me she did a background check on me when we first started dating because she told me I was too good to be true. Damn. I mean, that's a compliment, but it's also a slick way of covering up that she was checking on you, bro. But Daryl is a smart man. I'm sure he did his checks before he wifed up. It's a beautiful thing. And Cerinthia is sharing, she's sharing some of her experiences. I really appreciate it. We've been talking about the fact that this man, there was a shooting in San Bernardino where a man basically killed his estranged wife. Walked into the school building, signed in at the front desk, walked down to her classroom, happened to be a special needs classroom, walked inside and opened fire. And while she was huddled in those last seconds of her life, looking at this man who just months before, I mean, they just got married in January. How do you go from looking to somebody's eyes and taking vows before God and then looking to somebody's eyes and sending them to God? If that is what you believe. He also killed an 8-year-old boy, and a 9-year-old was injured as well, and then he turned a gun upon himself. Now, to me, this is an ultimate act of cowardice. It's screaming for help. It's a desperate scream and plea for, I'm hurt. But I'm sorry, I can't hear that because I can't hear it over the cries of the family member who have lost their loved ones, an 8-year-old boy and this woman. And what was her crime? Her crime is that she didn't want to be with this psycho anymore. She don't want to be with this psycho no more. And Tanika called in and shared. She might have had a psycho, but she got rid of him. Smart. No, ladies, you don't have to deal with that. That's not love. That is not love. Have you ever been in a situation, and fellas, I'd love to hear from one of the fellas on this. So far, only ladies have called in on this particular topic. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and they went Jekyll and Hyde on you? Like, wait a minute, they just flipped. And having been married, I remember that was one of my biggest fears before I got married. Like, man, is she going to change? Like, I didn't change. I'm the same dude I was beforehand. I mean, of course, I'm more responsive and responsible to my wife because now she's my wife. You know, she went from being my girlfriend to my wife basically overnight. You know, we didn't have a long fiance thing. We basically eloped, as they say. And we've been together ever since. But that is your fear as a man. It's like, damn, is she going to switch? Because she's so perfect now. And, you know, the wifey did, I won't say she switched, but, you know, she admitted afterward that, you know, as a young woman, she just said had a certain thing in mind in terms of marriage. And as you get older and you start to live inside a marriage, you realize, wait a minute, this is what marriage is really all about. So it was nothing that was dramatic, but damn. Deanna writes, Cerinthia, glad you got out. I wasn't a direct victim, but an indirect victim. When my sister left her abuser, he tried to direct his anger towards me. He would call my job and leave threatening messages and call my house. My husband squashed that immediately. What? Kelly writes, scary, Cincy. These girls are reckless too. So sons need to watch out too. They make up stuff we just couldn't think of. And Akeem says he's thinking of something to say to get Angela's water boiling. Angela writes, say it, Akeem. Cerinthia writes, isolation is real. The goal is to isolate. That's what he did. I felt I had no one and nowhere to turn. The fight became an inward fight. Like, I'll be honest with you. I got a member of my family where all the men in the family don't like the person that this female family member of mine has decided to be with. I don't really like him either. Matter of fact, dude can't even come around me. He's not invited to my house. None of that I'm doing. No. But at the same time, that's a family member that I'm very fond of, that I have love for. So I'm still close to her as much as I can be. And I've talked with family members and we kind of feel like that's exactly what dude is up to. So I understand. I mean, this stuff is real. It touches my family. It touches all of our families. Brian writes, I'm a believer that the Lord will bless you with what you need and not with what you want. Okay, you can try that if you want to, Brian. Like, I know a female that we were close many years ago, but she was really into the church. And a lot of women get duped in the church. Like, I'm going to go find me a good man in the church. That's hit or miss, sister. And she met this dude, and he was all into the church. And he was going to church 3 or 4 times a week, which is a sign right there. And you going to church. I mean, like, what are you trying to rid? What did you do? Why are you going to church all the time? He was going to church. He was church, man. As soon as he get married, dude flipped. Super paranoid, super possessive, following her. This was a dude she met in the church. So, don't think that the church is an automatic, like it's an automatic qualifier. Don't think that. Like, oh, everybody's qualified automatically because they're in the church. No. No. Kush writes, one of the signs of the later days, men would imitate women and women would imitate men. We are living in the last days of common sense. Denise writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good to see you, Denise. Kelly has some pretty, what I don't understand. I have to sit down and read emojis. Tracy writes, imagine being a child and hearing your mom being abused. I was paralyzed with fear. Right. I never had that experience. Like, my mother, she didn't marry my father because my father wanted to marry her. But my mother wanted to be single. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Thanks for the broken home. Appreciate that. But, she made her decision. It was it is. I remember she used to date different dudes and they come over to the house. I hated all of them. I wanted to cut all their throats in here with my mama. I mean, not really, but you know what I'm saying. And that was harsh. I was channeling some old pain. Forgive me. And I remember she was dating this one dude. He was my mother used to work at GE. And she met this dude, and he was an engineer, but he was very eccentric, she told me. He's a little different. And when I met him, I thought, different? You mean as in crazy? And dude was just nuts. And I remember he came to the house a couple of times and was just nuts. And I just couldn't think. I was like, why is Mom messing with this nuts dude? This dude is nutso. And then remember she got rid of him years after that, she told me that he might have said something to her, tried to push up on her. I was like 5 at that time, 6, but I would have showed my muscles messing with my mama. You fall asleep, I'll cut you. But that's how, as a little boy, you're always very possessive over your mother and your father. That's just how you are. Cincy Tigers writes, will silly Sean Spicer be fired? Folks are in arms about him. LOL, no sympathy. He does it to himself. Yeah, Sean Spicer does it to himself. He got into some hot water because here we are. To very many, this is a very sacred time. And Sean Spicer this is what happens when you dancing for massa. Sean Spicer gets paid to lie for Donald Trump. That's what I've seen. He should be working for the American people, but he gets paid to lie for Donald Trump. And when you're lying for somebody else, sometimes you get tripped up. And Sean Spicer is going, he is going out of his way to try to prop up every goofy thing that Donald Trump does. Everything. Including, this spectacle, okay, this made-for-TV event, this missile strike in Syria. Okay, that was a made-for-TV event. That was wagging the dog. And people are really calling for the head of Sean Spicer, and rightly so, because basically he tried to make it seem like that what recently happened in Syria was way worse than what happened to the Jews during the Holocaust. It's ridiculous. And the reason why is because he's trying to fall over himself to prop up everything that Donald Trump does, trying to make it bigger than ever. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump, he had to react because this was an atrocity. Well, back in 2012, 2013, when the same guy who's at Bashar, when Assad, when he gassed 1,400 people during the Obama administration, you had nearly 100 Republican congressmen and women who signed off to say that the United States shouldn't do anything. In this recent attack, what was it, 70, 40 people? I'm not trying to lessen it because every life is precious. But if 70 people are gassed and then you have 1,400 people are gassed with chemical weapons to their death, Which is the bigger atrocity? I'm going with the numbers. So this is all politics. And Sean Spicer made a damn fool of himself again. Just like he did the very first day. He started off making a fool of himself, arguing about the number of people at the inauguration. It was ridiculous then. It's ridiculous now. I have absolutely no remorse for Sean Spicer whatsoever. Because the man's a damn liar. Like, if he had a little bit more credibility, I wouldn't feel sorry for him at all. But if he had a little bit more credibility, it may serve him well. This could be the end of Sean Spicy. And on some levels, I don't know, they might even have somebody worse waiting in the background. And when I say worse, I mean as somebody who's more adept at trying to create these narratives and these lies. But the media pretty much got Sean Spicer. They understand. He apologized vehemently. That's right, man. Messing with the Jews. You don't mess with the Jews? Come on now. And it was damn ridiculous, especially, come on, what's going on this week? He should have thought about that twice. But in his effort to try to build up everything that Donald Trump does and make it bigger than the sun, he went a little bit too far, didn't he? Angela writes, good morning, lovely people. Good to see you, Angela. Good to see you. James writes, hey, choppers. Cincy Tigers writes, I'm responding to her comment at 8:40 a.m. Will silly Sean Spicer be fired? Folks are up in arms about him. LOL, no sympathy. He does it to himself. He does. I have absolutely no sympathy for Sean Spicer whatsoever. None whatsoever. It wasn't a mistake. He knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to make it seem like the things that Donald Trump is confronting in Syria is much worse than anything that ever happened to a World War II. As soon as it came out of his mouth, I'm like, what is he talking about? Man, I would love to be the White House press secretary. If Sean Spicer can be the White House press secretary, I can be the White House press secretary. I would love that job. That'd be cool. I get to ride around on Air Force One and talk policy. That'd be great. That's what it takes to be the White House press secretary? Damn. Damn. That is crazy, man. You got folks out here that can't get jobs because they got caught with their hand in a cookie jar 15 years ago. And Sean Spicer gets paid to lie to the American press every single day. So I don't know. I mean, part of me is like, hey, he gets what he gets. The other part is like, what other creature are they going to reach into the Trump's bag of trips and grab out to become the White House press secretary? You never know. You never know. That is crazy. James writes, Orlando pastors convicted of child molesting this week. Did you see, let's talk about Ohio here for a little bit. We've been all over the place. We really haven't talked about a lot of news here locally. Then some of these things, relationship stuff crosses all lines. I understand that. But did you see the video? I'm going to post this in the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show page on Facebook, because I want you to see a video of this Ohio police officer who runs up and kicks a man in the face. I won't tell you the race of the man who he kicked in the face, and I won't tell you the race of the police officer because it doesn't really matter. Okay, but one man is being arrested. His hands are behind his back. He has cuffs on. He's talking to the officer like, well, why you stop me, man? Another officer runs up and literally kicks the man in the face. The man is face down on the ground. It's over. See, those are the kind of officers. Okay, those are the kind of actions that need to stop. And the only reason why it's even being talked about is because they did it in a residential neighborhood. Matter of fact, he was face down in somebody's driveway. And you can tell somebody's like inside the house or on the porch of their home taking a video, either out of the window or from the porch. That's the only reason why this is there. Because how many incidents of that nature happen where people are arrested and they are the victims of police abuse? But because they have a record, when they go into the courthouse, the judge don't want to hear it. The judge is like, yeah. Okay. He did what? You got any proof of that? Yeah. Look at my lip. You got any evidence of that, sir? No. Okay. Well, we don't have any evidence of that. We're going to move on and charge you. You were down here because that's what happens. It's unfair. That's what kind of stuff that builds frustration in our communities. That's at the core of why there's so much distrust between the black community and law enforcement. It's not because the black people are holding on to the criminal element and they care. We love criminals. No, that's not why. Black people just have a distrust of law enforcement because of the history of the interactions between black people and law enforcement. So I'll post a video. You got to see it. Kiki writes, have a great day, great and safe day, loves. Gotta go. One love and stay woke. Absolutely. Dale writes, 2 pastors got arrested for running a sex trafficking ring in Toledo. They were both black pastors, too. That gives true meaning to the title of Pulpit Pimpin'. Let me check this out. Toledo pastors. And he said these were black folks? Oh, man. 2 Ohio pastors charged with sex crimes against children. I mean, damn, this is on the root. All right, here's the story, folks. FBI agents arrested 2 Toledo, Ohio pastors who are accused of committing sex crimes against children. Cordell Jenkins, 46, and Anthony Haynes, 37, were taken into custody at the Toledo homes on Friday morning. After knowingly recruiting, enticing, harboring, transporting, providing, or obtaining a person under the age of 18 for sex trafficking. Jenkins, who was the founder and pastor of Abundant Life Ministries in Toledo, and that whole Abundant Life thing, man, that's like a little industry, quite honestly, whether you know that or not. I mean, there's people making a lot of money selling that theory of an abundant life. Jenkins, who is the founder and pastor of Abundant Life Ministries. Now, I'm not making it up. If you go to Google right now and Google Abundant Life, you're going to get all kind of like inspirational folks, spiritual people, motivational people who are using that term, abundant life. That's like an industry in and of itself. I'm not making this up. He was allegedly had sex with a girl in another hotel room and also in his office in an area church. Jenkins also allegedly encouraged the girl to introduce him to one of her friends and then engaged in sex acts with both of them. The Toledo Blade reports that according to FBI agents, Jenkins paid the girl between $100 and $300 for each encounter, except for the time with the second girl when he paid approximately $120 to $140 for her participation. And these are underage girls. So, damn, there's 2 ways of looking at this. On one hand, these are grown-ass men. Why are you paying for sex with an underage girl? Now, did the girl lie to them and say that she was older than that? Did she lie and say, I'm really 18, I'm really 19? Could have been. Does it make a difference? And then what's up with these young girls these days out here whipping it out and selling it at 14? From what I'm reading, this seems like it was sort of like they were paying for sex and these girls were selling sex. Wow. And these were so-called pastors, huh? Telling you got to watch it, ladies. You got to watch it, people. It's the person who on the surface appears to be the most honest that sometimes the person is the biggest devil. You got to watch them. According to the Blade, Jenkins is facing charges of sex trafficking a minor, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years in prison and a maximum life sentence. So what it sounds like to me is they hooked up with some young girls that was tricking. I graduated from school titled Peter H. Clark Academy. I can't say for a fact because I didn't watch it, but I know there were girls, young girls that used to brag about tricking back then, and they were in high school, 16, 17, 18 years old. And these young black girls was talking about tricking, and they would get with these older dudes. And then, I used to hear them talk about, oh, girl, I ain't really had to do nothing, or oh, he came quick, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I said it. You understand what I'm talking about? He climaxed it prematurely, I put it that way. So he hooked up with this 14-year-old. I'm trying to figure out, was it rape? Or was this a consensual thing? But again, a minor cannot consent to having sex. That's damn disgusting. Brian writes, but Nate, you said she went to church to find what she wanted. My statement open to whatever you may be. I'm not a Bible carrying guy myself, but I do believe it's best to get what you need. Scott writes, spicy isn't going anywhere, sadly. You don't think so? You never can tell with Donald Trump. You never can tell. Brian writes, like Blaze says, some MFs always trying to ice skate uphill. Spicy all day. That's funny. Good morning, DJ Queen, X-Squad affiliates. She writes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to you, DJ Queen. Rhonda writes, oh, by the way, I forgot to add, he can drive all the way up here to check her about Facebook, but he have not drove up here to meet her parents. Miss D writes, it started when the minor was 14. She was groomed to this abuse. Right. I can see that. Yeah, because some of these pedophiles, what they try to do is they try to find somebody who's young and impressionable. They try to find somebody who might be open to their advances. Like a pedophile is not looking for a 14-year-old that's going to run and go tell mommy and daddy the first time something happened. They're looking for a 14-year-old who don't really have a good relationship with mommy and daddy. They're searching somebody they can have a secret with. Like it's some kids like, hey, mommy, Mr. Such and Such said we secret friends. What? Mom and dad form Voltron. It's some kids that because they're lacking that, they savor those kind of relationships and they get groomed. They really do. They really do. James writes, those pedophile pastors were just giving the flock some old time religion. Oh, that's what they call old time religion? They call that an old time crime. That's what they call that. That's a crime right there. I mean, just go get a grown woman who's consenting. What's wrong with that? So, again, before we leave, my Gilligan of the day, of course, is 50 Cent. And Sean Spicy. Matter of fact, he did a double whap. Okay. And see, Sean Spicer, that's what happens when you dance up for Massa. I dance with Massa. Yeah. He danced with Donald Trump. See, it's one thing to have to manage your own lies. It's another to try to manage somebody else's lies and their bipolar explosions, rhetorical explosion, or tweet explosions. Sean Spicy's got a hell of a hard job, but I don't have any sympathy for him whatsoever. He knew what he was signing up for. He knew what he was signing up for. Thank you so much for listening, Choppers. I really appreciate you. The Nathan Ivey Show will be available as a podcast within the hour. NathanIvey.com. Thank you so much. A shout out to my patrons. Shout out to Team and I. Shout out to the Choppers. Good morning to the good folks at Superlative Media. My friends, the X-Squad affiliates. My friends, SoulPublicRadio.com. And for my casual listeners, my listeners on YouTube, thank you for listening. Again, consider this an invitation to check out the live show. We go live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. from the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, city of my birth. My name is Nathan Ivey, one man, one microphone, one middle finger in the face of the status quo. You know me, same OG. Only we're online now. If you want to connect with me, I'm on Facebook. You can find my connect information via my website, NathanIvey.com. And shout out to my patrons, my new patrons. I really appreciate your support. I need your support. Thank you so much. Shout out to James, who became a patron recently. Thank you so much for your support, James. I appreciate you. Listen, if you'd like to support me and what I'm building and our shared vision, Cincinnati needs an independent voice. You just heard there from Bloomberg Urban Report that if the FCC changes the rules, then the titans of the media industry can own more. And I think we need diverse, unique, and in some cases, divergent opinions as we talk out the great issues of the day. But thank you so much for listening. My name is Nathan Ivey. Until next time, I'm out.